What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the You Damn Right podcast. I am your host, Ronnie Amorbi. And today we got Candace in the house, back in the house with me
Back
today.
in the house. Yeah, back.
First things first, I gotta say, real bitches is in the building.
Remember? No,
This is in the building.
I'm not gonna be able to do this. We're just in the building.
Okay.
Because why would she do that?
Real quick to put things into perspective, we are literally filming this episode the day after the first podcast dropped.
Yes.
So our first episode dropped literally yesterday, and we are filming the next day. And so we're on a little bit of a high right now
Yes, I'm on a
because
high.
how was it? You were in that episode, so how was it? How was it for you?
I mean, nerve-wracking, of course, because it's the first time, putting all the pieces to the puzzle. And it's a difference of when you're just doing it and then when you see it.
Right.
Like, now I know, don't look at the camera.
You can look at the camera. It was just like I wanted to make it seem like, we're having just a conversation.
No.
So I wanted everybody to make sure everybody's comfortable.
Yeah.
I know, like
That's so
watching
funny.
it back, watching it while I was editing and like watching it back, as it dropped it, watching with everybody else. I realized I knew I was nervous because I was saying like every other word.
Yeah.
And it was pissing me off. And I was like
feeling words, using feeling words.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay though.
It was like I'm like
yeah.
Ron, take a chill pill.
So every time, long story short, every time you say like, I get to pop on you. It's like
okay.
No,
I could tell that I clearly got more comfortable like after I don't know if we had took a break. It was at some point where I wasn't doing it anymore. So I think I had to just loosen up or, maybe I caught on to it. Like, let me stop using that word all the dang time. It's okay to use it, but everything, it was, everything.
We was all finding our rhythm.
Yeah.
Everyone was trying to find their rhythm of, do I talk? Do I not? Do I this? Do I that? Like, and I was just going, I'd rather like, what did they say? I'd rather give you too much and you tell me step back than not give enough.
Yeah.
And then you searching for more. Because like you said, you can always cut out, okay, I don't need this, I don't need this.
Right.
But then when you're sitting there, you're like, damn.
Because I'm definitely learning as I go, with doing this. I don't have an editor. I'm my own editor. Candace is basically my executive producer at this point in time. So she does help me with stuff. But at the end of the day, I have to set up, us filming. I have to set up, I have to edit everything, put it together and put it out. And I think that is hard for me to do because when I'm putting it together, I am such a perfectionist. And just watch, I'm like, I want to do
this, I want to do that, I want this and that. But that's good though because that's your creative juices flowing, and that's when you're doing something you love,
right? And
you enjoy. When, like you said, you can't sleep, you can't eat because I slept like a baby. Get you up. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yeah.
So that's when you're working on your dreams and your aspirations. So no matter what, every episode has no choice but to get better because you're gonna get better.
Right. Yeah.
And you the conductor of this train. So let's choo.
Definitely. And I'm appreciative of you being here with me again for today's episode. I really appreciate it. I'm very happy with the response that we got. You were everybody's favorite.
Really?
I know Candace was telling me she was so scared of being canceled. And I was like, girl, if you get canceled, I mean...
you won't be on the next episode. Look, you
it is
hold
what
the camera.
It is what it is. But it was so funny, and I'm glad everybody enjoyed it.
Thank y'all.
I'm just happy that they they found the comedy in it like I did because that's what I want this to be overall. Is like I want this to be kind of a lighthearted. I already said my reasons for creating this podcast was pretty much for us. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm being completely honest, but I do want us to just have fun with it. I do want us to talk about our goals, talk about what we are wanting to accomplish, so that when we watch this back, a year from now, we can be like, oh, remember we started this, now we're here, and you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the whole purpose of this is really, so I'm happy with how everything turned out.
I'm happy too.
And being that you were a part of that, I'm appreciative of you being there and then, now, and in the future. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, just show me with a check, but listen, where it's going to go so far? Show me with a little check. We know what them checks hit.
Oh my gosh. But, I know there's so much I want to talk about, but I know I want to keep everything within an hour of each of these episodes. My goal again is to have at least 12 episodes of this first season of this podcast, and I feel so like productive that we're getting shit done. The topic I want to talk about today was basically about moving with intention. And I felt like you were a good person to bring on for today's topic because we talk about a lot of times of like goal setting, but I think me and you, not necessarily more than anybody else in our group, but I feel like me and you are kind of on that path of like really what is it I really want to do to set myself up for the future that I want. You get what I'm saying? I can't talk about it right now because it'll take too much time, but I went through a very traumatic experience last November. And coming out of that, I don't know if I want to say it changed my life or anything like that, but it definitely made me have like a real conversation with myself to say, okay, Ron, really start thinking about what you want to be, what you want to do, where where do you see yourself in the next few years? Because you almost didn't.
So, but that is a life-changing thing. I think you can say that changed your life because our outlook on what we do and how we do things, and sometimes it takes traumatic things that I want to bring up later, but sometimes it takes traumatic things sometimes, like to leave relationships or friendships or jobs, or because we'll stay stuck because we have no other reason to not. So yours was just a different version of it. But it did change your life ultimately. I can't say we wouldn't be sitting here doing this, but I feel like that pushed you more to like, okay, let's do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have to wait.
Yeah, and maybe we're not high at all right now. So I was about to say maybe we're not high enough to have this type of conversation. I'm about to say what I'm about to say is what I want to say is that we are our own main character of our lives, right? So, I am my main character of my life. When we talk about like main character energy and all this stuff, I think it's been a big thing over these last couple of years, which is interesting. But when you go through a event or something that happens in your life that makes you I had that wake up call that was like, oh, I'm not invincible.
Yeah.
Like that could happen to me. Like I could not be here tomorrow. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So because I went through that, I had that experience for the first time to wake me up to be like, oh, but you're not going to be here forever. Yeah. Like you can be up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Right. That was my wake up call to say like, okay, I need to start moving with a little more intention of like, what do I want to be remembered for? What do I want to leave behind me when I am gone? What do I want to do right now while I'm here and not just wasting time and doing stuff that I don't enjoy doing or don't, that inspires me or just keeps me motivated to go. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll drop
a job real quick. Actually,
but actually this isn't worth my time.
I don't even like the way you talk. You said clock in. What you mean clock in? I'm gonna go ahead and go. No, I'm gonna go ahead and clock out. But have a good day. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a part of it too. But like we said, it takes traumatic things for us to,
And traumatic things can look different for everybody. Yeah. It doesn't have to be necessarily what I went through, which is, I keep talking around it, but basically I had a major surgery I had to go through, which was
scary for us.
Yeah, scary for everybody around me.
You. Look, I'm like scary for us.
No, especially scary for you because I know for me it was like if I don't, I don't want to get dark, but in that moment when I said, I reached out to y'all, my family was with me, so I was able to say, see y'all later, love you, whatever. Right. But I knew going back there and before they had put me to sleep to do the surgery, I was like, I may not wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that'll just be it.
Yeah.
I won't have to still be here to deal with that, but y'all would. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that makes that, that's just to put it into perspective. So, but just to get back to the topic, it's just, I was able to then have that conversation with myself about like moving with intention to say, for like the earlier part of my 20s, I was so much of like just going with the flow. Mm-hmm. For a long time, people were on like YOLO and like all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which is to a certain extent, true. And I think you should go with the flow in certain circumstances. Yeah. But having the talk with yourself to say, I would like to be here in 5 years is important because I'm paraphrasing real quick about, I saw this TikTok video of this girl, but basically what she was saying was, today, do what you want to do that yourself like a few days from now will be happy that you did.
Okay.
And then put into a different perspective. If I do what I want to do this year, I should do what I want to do that myself 5 years from now will be happy I did this year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like my future self is going to be proud or happy that I did that step right now instead of waiting. You get what I'm saying?
I think, and then only because it's your podcast, you know, I'm gonna be fully authentic because I think that's what we're looking for. And just like your traumatic journey was that, I'm taking a traumatic journey of my whole life. I've been a mom. Yeah. My whole life has surrounded, and that's when you say you need to be your own main character, where I was not my own main character. Mm-hmm. My son was my main character. Right. To the extent where it's good, but also I realized, like you said, people's living their life and I'm just going with the flow. Like, yeah, y'all go do this. I have to go do this. And this year I'm going to be a little selfish and allow him to, you know, be with his other side and then fully take on our responsibility, especially before I turn 30. Right. It's coming. Oh my God. But just taking on that experience of just saying, you know what can I do now? Just doing this. It's like, what can I do to where I know, like, I will be happy. Mm-hmm. And I know a year from now, watching this, I'll be happy. Mm-hmm. Seeing where this goes, I'll be happy. Getting my foot in the door to rub off, you know, your positivity, your work ethic. It's going to be like, oh, okay, well, I can't be no slouch. Let's get it. You know what I mean? Right. So definitely taking this opportunity and fully going for it. I'm going for it. And I have to. Because like I said, you go into this routine of life. And like I said, that's why I be quitting these jobs. I'm not working for you. Mm-hmm. I don't like you. I love this. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? I'll get out my bed for this. Like, right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'll make the sacrifice where at work I'm like, oh, I'm about to call out. I don't want to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you know what you're doing. You love, like, right. And I love this. Like, I could do this every day. I love talking. Listen to me. Hear me roar. I got a lot to say, right. You know, but it's just those journeys. But it takes sacrifices or big wake up calls. Yes. And when I realized that people, and I'm gonna say this in the most humble way, you know how we see those people who are rappers, the in-town rappers, or they always dropping a music video or somebody doing this. As much as we try to hate on those people, because maybe we don't like their music, or maybe we don't connect to it, maybe we really know them and it's not who they portray. Whatever the reason is, come on now. At least they going for their motherfucking dream. That's it. And we still sitting back and watching. Mm-hmm. So whether and then we all know, whether if we all know that one person or not, we definitely have heard the story of like, yeah, ain't nobody believing me, or you know what I'm saying? Though that person was just like, name an artist who does not have that story, right? Whether it was people in their own town or in their own family or whatever, and then they go to these other places and they touch somebody else who believes in them, and you know, and then it comes back 10 times forward. So. Right. You just got to go for it. It's not up to you to make other people believe in you. You got to believe in yourself. So I support all the local rappers who be having 4 people at their show. Send me an invite. I'm going to come because I don't know where you going to make it, but I believe in you. I believe in you. And sometimes that takes sometimes it does take one person like just to believe in you. Yeah. And sometimes that one person could just be you. Like, is that like literally just you? Literally. All the platforms we got out now, all you need is you. Right. That's all you need. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes starting off with like a small audience can kind of be the move because it's like, as you see people like go viral or like blow up quickly, you know, they kind of get all that rush and it just is too soon where they just don't know how to handle it, don't know how to maneuver it. Yeah. Versus, you know, starting off with a smaller platform or smaller audience and stuff like that to really get your foot in the door. Work on your craft, really like learn and like you said, come across maybe other people who are maybe like-minded like you or maybe could point you in the right direction, maybe even inspire you, you know what I'm saying? Like I at times have just not meeting people in person, but meeting people even like through social media and then look at their work and get inspired and be like, well shit. Yeah. They took the time out and they dedicated like, why can't I do that? Right. Like why not at least try? And I feel like they're being authentic too. When you see like even people who have the podcast or like what is his name, Calvin, who just goes to the grocery stores and I can't wait to see him. I'll be on the food line, don't need nothing. Got my oil, milk, eggs, everything. I'm just hoping I see him. But just those little things where it's like these people are being authentically themselves. And I feel like long as you're in that path where you're authentic now, if you're a rapper, but you really don't want to be the rapper, or if you're the host, but you really don't want to be the host, it's gonna show. It's gonna show in your drive, and it's gonna show in your consistency. Like, I know I'm not sitting in that seat every week, absolutely not, but I can write some shit in the bed. Yeah, I can hold the camera, I can help produce and give it life and everything, but I know that's not my role. Right. You know what I mean? And I feel like that comes with maturity, and it comes with being humble. Right. And not only that, but it comes with just knowing yourself. Like you said, you gotta know yourself and what your craft is and what you're doing. But yeah, back to me quitting these jobs. I be quitting these jobs because I don't want to. She's not lying. She be quitting. She's not lying. And be good at them. I'm not trash at these jobs. I'm talking employee of the month. Yeah. I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to be talking to me. I have to bring it up because we legit just went out to dinner not that long ago. We legit went out for a birthday dinner not that long ago. A whole group of us. We sitting there. Waitress come out. Candace! Oh my God, Candace! Like, what are you doing? They have a full-blown conversation. Candace like, what's up, girl? Waitress walks away from the table. Candace, I don't know who the hell that was. But I was excited to see. She was excited to see. I'm like, but clearly she knows you. It's just the point where, yeah, Candace just didn't remember what job that was. No. Clearly. She don't remember what fucking job. She done met this girl. Oh my God. And it'd be like that sometimes. But back to my point of me being a good employee. You see, now you don't like seeing bad employees. You have been excited like, oh, you were trash. I'm so happy to see you. No, you remember the good people. Right. Didn't remember her. She remembered me. And I love her down for that. Period. I appreciate that. I love to see it. I love to see it. I really do. And I'll still quit a job. I mean, I'm starting to learn that more about, like, again, just making my time a priority to where I'm taking more control of saying, like, I don't want to do this. Yeah. Like, I don't want to waste my time doing this. You get what I'm saying? That's really the bigger picture for me. It's like, I don't want to waste my time doing this. I'm so sorry, y'all. And then you still got to pay bills. Yeah. You know, so you just find that job that way it's a balance. Like, especially when we going to school. Before, my major was, business management. But now it's education because I feel like I can do anything with business management. It's kind of really broad, I really, don't want to do it. But education, you need that degree to work in that field. So that's just a little side candy quote, As I stated before, Candace is working right now as like my executive producer. I'm pretty much mentoring her and getting her some work in because... And thank you for that. You're more than welcome. Because you do have a mission. I'll call it a mission because that's what it is. I feel like, I don't know, I like to relate everything to like video games because I'm just the game of me. Because I talked about like us being like our main characters of our lives and stuff. Okay. I feel like that. I feel like you are your main character in your life, but you like if you look at things like as a video game, like you have different levels and things that you're working on to do and everything. Plus, what's the damn word? What is that? Intermission? What we just had? An intermission? An interruption. Intermission. Intermission is playing. Back to what I was my thought, honey. Yes, we are our main character of our lives, and I like to look at things as a video game. So we have missions, we have side missions, we have skills that we are always upgrading. We have new characters we're always meeting. I can go into like a whole thing about that, but I am saying like you have a mission that you have set for yourself. You have a goal, but you have a mission that you are currently on. So you are currently moving with intention. Literally moving. Literally moving. Literally moving. So back to us just talking about, working on what we think makes us happy and what our careers are. There's difference between a job and career. We've heard that speech a million times. So my intent is to, while we're filming this and working on this, learning the craft, learning everything, to take it back with me because I'm going to move back to the city, New York. Ooh, love y'all. Brooklyn. No, all right. That was not necessary. Don't represent gangs. Gangs are bad. Brooklyn's not a gang. I just threw up something. I'm not sure. Oh, wow. We're cutting that out. I don't remember nothing but the blood. Jesus Christ. Okay, no, anyway. But, Yeah, so I'm moving out there, and my goal is to either work for a TV network, or whether it's like just a news station or something, as a camera person or as a associate writer, or just something where I'm working, like I said, or even TMZ, anything. But just putting myself in that surrounding, and then also it'll have me closer to my family from back home, so I have that love and support there, and then also my sons. Dad's side is out there, so he'll have that love and support. So everybody's surrounded by love and support, but also me being selfish, but moving with intent. So working on this, doing this. Yes, it's great. Yes, it's fun, and yes, it's selfish, but ultimately, it's selfish in the positive reasons. And I feel like when people learn how to be selfish in a positive reason, things flow just so much better. So, but yes, that is my moving with intent. So, literally moving. So, I don't know. I might be flying out here next year to do these.
Yeah, that's what I'm definitely happy for you. I'm excited for you.
Trying to get him to come with me.
Trying her hardest to come.
It just makes sense.
You never know what the future may hold. I definitely have no intention of moving.
In the comments.
I have no intention of moving to New York anytime soon. I definitely will say I do not. I do feel like my life eventually is going to move me somewhere else. Yeah. I definitely feel that. Maybe not this soon, but I definitely do feel like that. But again, I'm like 99.9% sure that I will always leave that 1% open, because, like you said, anything's possible. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. But otherwise, I'm definitely happy for you. I'm excited for you. Again, this is a moment of, you don't know what's today's day. What's this day? What are we in? We in August still.
We is in August still.
A year from now, who knows where you'll be? Right. But you'll be looking back at this to be like, I remember when I said that. I remember when I was putting this out there, and like, we could be seeing Candace as your next big something.
I know, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just never know. So
we never, and that's the thing, we never know. And I can end up, working for a network like Eddie, looking for somebody to,
and girl, and I'm definitely all for you, taking some time to like get your craft together. Yeah. While these strikes is going on. Yeah. And hopefully I have that sorted out by the time you get up there, because it might be a whole better environment for you regardless.
And that's the thing too. I'm not saying that things don't change. So if something in Charlotte ends up popping out for me where it's still my craft and my way, I'm going that way.
Right.
I'm not specific. It's just New York is a stomping ground for me, because it's where I was born, where my dad's side is, where my son, so it's just more surrounded, because like you said, we still got bills, we still got lives, we still, you know what I'm saying? So I still have to take that stuff into consideration. But when you're working on your career in your field and that check's rolling in, I ain't going nowhere. New York who?
Exactly.
New York where?
Yeah.
We in Charlotte, baby. Yeah, but in Charlotte, where? We in New York, baby. So somebody get some act right in them.
You never know. You never know.
I think it'll be great. Yeah. I think it'll be fun. Like, that's the goal. So
right.
Moving with intent, baby.
Gotcha. Awesome. I'm all for it. Another thing I do want to quickly put out there about just the topic of movement intention, it's gonna sound so shady. It's definitely vampire season right now.
Oh, get into it.
It's definitely vampire season.
Vampire season,
and I want everyone out there to be careful of the vampires, of coming to suck your energy and coming to suck you dry.
Oh, they're not just sucking blood no more. They taking energy.
It's not about blood anymore. It's all about energy.
Let's get into it.
I do definitely believe that some people.
Say it. Say it.
If you have somebody in your life who seems to come and go as they please, you might want to take a step back and figure out if they could be a vampire to you.
Okay.
Because maybe they're just coming back to suck your energy out of you and then go about their merry way until they need it again.
Yeah.
And if you leave that door open, for them to come and return and just do it as they please, that's just what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by we are in vampire season, that y'all need to be careful.
And it comes in all different forms. I mean, this could be somebody who just only calls you when they need a ride, to a person who only calls you when they're sad.
Right.
It can come in so many different forms, but believe it when it come out, because I've dealt, and that's for family, friends, dogs, everybody, all pets too. Because Romeo was acting crazy the other day, like, Oh, so you mean the vampire? So you mean the vampire now? You don't listen no more. I say come to fucking door. You don't listen. Okay, but no, it's sad though. Yeah. Because most of the time these are people we love. Yeah. And a lot of times these are people, unfortunately, we seen it coming. Yeah. And we chose to we put our head this way, let them be able to take the bite, and then surprise when they start sucking the blood out. And we can't do that. Yeah. Speaking from personal experience, I'm just currently at a stage in my life where I'm just like, I don't want to keep allowing that to myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you can blame the other person as like, oh, they're a bad friend. It may not even be, I don't even go as far as that, but I would just say sometimes you got to be like, I gotta love you from a distance. You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you have to cut that connection off. Yeah. As hard as it might be, it's not fair to you to allow somebody to just come in and suck your energy and bleed you dry and then just, you know what I'm saying, act like they're not wrong about it. I feel like it's okay to say they were a bad friend now. Okay. I feel like that's fair. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean they only did bad. Mm-hmm. People in jail didn't only do bad their whole life. You know what I'm saying? But those major moments were bad. And it was bad enough to where I feel like this friendship can't continue, especially if it's something repetitive. So I think as much as we're saying, you were a bad friend. Right. They were a bad friend. Right. I can agree with that. And that's the reason I wanted to tie this in with moving with intention is because I think when you are trying to move with intention and do certain goals or do certain things to like get you to your next point of your life that you want to be, you have to take a look around like who is around me that could possibly hold me back or maybe just throw me off course, for example. May not even hold me back, but like just completely throw me off course and distract me, blindside me, or just, you know what I'm saying, like completely put you in a predicament you don't want to be, whether if it's literal or maybe even just emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Because it can be very emotionally draining. Sometimes financially too. But no, but seriously. So be intentional about what do I want my circle to look like? Yeah. And who do I want around me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like that everybody has their own thing going on. Yeah. Because I know when I was getting ready to start this, you even told me, I'll be just real about it, of not depending on anybody. Yes. About including myself. Right. Saying like, don't depend on any of us because this is really all on you. Yeah. And I had to take a step back to say, you know, that's correct. Like, I can't expect my friends to have to share the same dream as me or to share the same passion as me. Right. Even though we have similar passions, it's not the same passion. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't get upset if somebody can't do this one day or, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that my friends have a mind of their own, are their own person and have their own things going on, things they want to accomplish. And I'm so thankful and I feel extremely blessed that I have friends that are very supportive of what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I told you I'm riding a cool tail. I can't wait to get big. And so with that being said, my point is I've had to like sit down with myself and say, Ron, this circle right here you have right now, you might want to just lock that in and stop allowing people to come back and forth and play with your time because that's something I no longer feel like I have that I just want to give away freely. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So I have a question now. Yeah. So how do you, because you know how I handle things, which has not always been the best way when you do feel like, because sometimes people are not the vampires. Sometimes we got the little vampire in us a little bit, but sometimes they're not. So for me, and we know this from my circle, when I feel that any little bit of disloyalty or if I feel that any little bit of anything, I cut all ties. Mm-hmm. No explanation. No, nothing, blocked on everything. You don't even see me. Who, what, where, how. She not lying, sir. Block everybody. Do something. And I've been blocked, so it's okay. I've been blocked, so I can relate. I didn't do that too much, but I didn't like it. I told you that. But I had to be humble and say, you know what? In this instance, my friend really didn't do anything too much. You ain't do nothing at all. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
As long as I'm cleared of that, but okay.
And I go, blah. Yeah, but I'm the person where I'm so, how do I say it? So protective of my feelings and my way, where if I feel like something's off, I'll completely cut it off. Where I feel like
you're very
won't give it a chance. And I want to know which, now that you've seen how both ways can play out, right? Mm-hmm. What way would you take? Would you go my way and completely block what you know now? Or would you still take your way and take a chance and try to work it out or fix it and allow it until maybe you, I won't say get to your breaking point, but get to that point. Which, now that you know what you know now, what would you do? Yeah, I need to know.
I was gonna say you're very no nonsense. You're very no nonsense, and I don't know if that has anything to do with maybe because you're a mom, maybe where you can, where you come from, or
just life period,
or just life period. But you're very no nonsense. Where on me, on the other hand, like you said, I will give maybe a few chances before I get to that point of being like, I'm closing it off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had the experience in the past where I gave somebody, a chance after chance, and then I completely was like, I'm done with this person. Y'all do not talk to me about this person. I'm completely moved on from that, and I was dead serious. Because every time somebody brought this person up to me and tried to like show, like oh yeah, I'm like, no, not happening. Yeah. I'm completely done with it. While with another person, I was still like, let's see what we can figure out here, see what we can do or whatever. So at this point now, where I am just right now.
Yeah. Where you are right now.
Where I am right now, I can honestly say I don't have a solid answer, only because I do believe I'm just going to be so busy where it's like I don't want that distraction. So at this point right now, I do feel like I'm at a no nonsense toleration. Maybe the no nonsense is rubbing off on me. Maybe it finally is rubbing off on me to say like because it'll be a block and it'll be just I don't even have time for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just where, because I'll just say it's like sometimes you may have that friend where you're just like, I ride so hard for you. I wish you could return that for me.
I wish you could return it.
And I'm trying to leave that window open. I'm trying to leave that door open just to see if you could return that back. And because I know it's there.
I know it's there.
But I cannot wait here for however long, or just because it may never happen.
It may never happen, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it may never happen. That's like the main point I had to like realize to myself is like, I'm only hurting myself if I allow you to like play with my time like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And allow you to just come suck the energy out of me, and then we not talking or we not cool or whatever the case may be, and then I leave the door open for you to be like, oh, let's let's talk. I'm like, okay, let's talk. And it's, sometimes you gotta be like, you gotta stake that vampire.
Right. But you wanna know what's funny? The reason why I asked you that is because I wanted to know from your stance the way you would take, because from my stance and the way I take things now, I'm you.
Okay.
Because I've not that. Let me tell you something. Ain't no bitch that got dropped. I miss. Let's start there. But I do feel like. But I do feel like there has been plenty of opportunities where my pride could have been put to the side.
Yeah.
And I could have got out of myself and talked about something and actually, what they say, listen to hear, don't listen to respond. Mm-hmm. I'm big on that, So I feel like there's been a lot of opportunities where I could have stepped back and be like, you know what, just talk about it, which I've done now. But
have you ever,
right in those moments, I could have done better.
Have you ever had a moment? Because I know I'm the king of this. I'll just say it. But have you ever had a moment where you're just like, life is too short. Let me see if I can do anything about this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I can do better, but I definitely have those moments now. Mm-hmm. I do have some moments where life is short.
Don't have time for you.
Don't have time for you. Because what I do is I'm learning a balance. Okay, I didn't like what this person did. I don't like this situation. What have they brought to my life, though? Mm-hmm. If I can't think of things where you have brought anything to my life, I'm holding on to it because of the things I've done for you.
Right.
And that's when I'm like, yeah, no. I'm holding on to this because every time we went out, I paid. Mm-hmm. I'm holding on to this because every time we talked, it was a good conversation, but I either picked you up or I'm the one who sacrificed either not going to work or I'm the one who, you know what I'm saying? So yes, I enjoyed the moments, but who did the sacrificing? Who's the one who, now if it's sacrifice on both ends or it's love, I feel like feeling on both ends, I'm willing to talk about it and work it out. Right. I'm willing, and that's for relationship, friendships, family, you know. Motherfucker got cut weeks ago. Yeah. Don't play. Yeah. I'm not playing no more. Yeah. Leave me alone. Right. Leave me alone. But then there's other opportunities. So that's why it's also like I feel like you pick your family. Mm-hmm. You do have your family, of course, that you're close with and you're cool with and things like that. But then you have your friends who become your family. Right. And you have them where sometimes you can rely on them more than you can rely on your own people, you know? Right. Or they have certain things where you just can connect to them in a better way. So it really just depends. But now I talk about things and I let it be known I don't like this. So we could fix this or alter this. Because I expect you to do the same to me. I don't know what I'm doing might not be nice. And maybe that's sometimes why I'm too vocal. And I'm like, yeah, what you're doing don't make sense. Mm-hmm. But I love you for that. Yeah. And I respect it. You know what I mean? Where rather than me holding it in, and then explode. Right. I don't want to get to exploding anymore. Right. So... Yeah. So I'm actually taking the opposite route now, which is actually funny. Like, I'm actually going to talk about things and hear what people... Ooh, it'd be wild. And I think that what it sounds like, and then I just think it's because we're probably just in two different places then. Yeah. From my perspective, I've had that conversation, where I let the person know, hey, when this happens, or you do this, I ain't fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's the fact that I've had the conversation, then it happened again, and fuck it. Well, I'll just say it, child. So for it to happen again, and then for me to be like, you know what, I'm not going to react the way I used to react to this person in this situation. I'll just take a step back and be like, okay, well, they on that shit right now. They can go do them or whatever because I had this going on. I literally had this going on where I have to focus on this. You know what I'm saying? But then it gets back to me that you're telling somebody that you have no friends. Yeah. And I take that personal. You know what I'm saying? I took that to heart just to be like, well then let's keep it that way. Yeah. That's where I am right now. It's just let's keep it that way then. Yeah. Because you can go and do your thing. You can grow, be the greatest friend of somebody else. Right. Maybe I'm just not that person you're going to be that friend to. Right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't have another chance to give you. It's a quote where it says, I want to see you eat, just not at my table. Right. I want to see you eat. I want you to do well. And I think that's when you know you're truly over something. Because this motherfucker say, I don't want to see you eat. Starve. I'm not going to act like I'm not mature yet. No. A few people need to starve. A few people still eat, just not at my table. So it really just depends. But I also feel like when we do come to those decisions, we have to make sure, like, we don't accept routine. Mm-hmm. And like you said, if this person consistently does this and then does it again and then does it again, they're starting to make it a habit. What is it called? It's the scientist. I forgot what it's called. Yes, because you bitch me into history and science a little bit. Because I don't even know the name. That's why I said a little bit. Okay. But it's this thing where he trains the dog to basically, like, he'll ring a bell and then feed the dog. And the dog mouth will start drooling. And then he'll ring the bell again and then he'll bring out food. To the point where he'll ring the bell, but no food will come out, and the dog will still drool. Just because it got used to that. If y'all know it, put it in the comments. Y'all know what I'm talking. It's some of y'all smart out there. Like, but that's what we do with people. Like, we're giving them this routine to where they don't even have to say nothing no more. Yeah. We just adjust to it. And we can't do that because as much as we complain about the problem they're doing, we're conditioning it too. That's true. Yeah, I know. Like you said, I already know you on that, so I'm gonna leave you alone. Mm-hmm. And then when you get back right, then we'll talk about it. Thinking on their side, they're thinking it's gonna be the same routine, but this time I done tapped out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like because we have other things going on. 1, 2, again, life is too short. Mm-hmm. And 3, you have to sometimes accept, like, this person's not going to change. Right. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's sometimes what we be waiting. And we're in the middle of the change. And it's like, I'm kind of ready to change that routine in my life. Yeah. Because we're getting older.
we're stepping in a whole nother season of our lives. And at this point, it's like, oof. If you're not over here, please stay over there. Stay over there.
No, seriously though, because I'm very emotional to the people who are in my life. So when those people do me wrong, or I don't feel that love back, it takes a toll on me, and it takes a part of me, and then I don't be as productive as I could have been, or I'm thinking about it when I could be thinking about something else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, which is why I've even been single for so long. Like, if y'all got any uncles or daddies or anybody else, let me know.
Sugar daddies. Sugar daddies.
Yeah, females too. Oh. But anyway, that's a whole nother podcast.
Okay.
That's a whole nother podcast. But yeah, like it really just depends. But I've got to that point where I'm not accepting routine no more. You either get with the program or you get the walk.
And that's where we are. Well, here's to new routines.
New routines.
A new season.
I'm here for the new season.
And moving with intention.
We're gonna do this.
We are there.
We're there.
Real quick, I do want to check to see.
Yeah.
I want to check and see if I have something.
Your friends is calling my phone while we filming.
Oh, girl, that'll be okay. Because we are almost done, y'all. I'm so like, I just, okay. What? Because yesterday, being that the first episode came out yesterday, and like I've been editing everything, and like now we're shooting, I'm like, I feel so productive, y'all. Y'all don't understand. And I'm happy that I gave this a chance, and I'm actually I'm sticking to what I'm saying and not talking myself out of it.
Yep.
I'm just here for that. I'm here for the new season.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for the new season. Real quick, I do want to play a little game.
Yay! I love games.
I do want to get your I want to get your I want to get your perspective on something, since we're talking about moving with intention, vampires, and all this other stuff we just discussed. I feel like this will be a good topic. I want to get your outlook on. So I'm going to read you a scenario that somebody posted, and I want to get your feedback, but I want you to give me, are you damn right if the person is wrong?
Okay.
Or a hell no if you agree.
Okay, you damn right.
If the person is in the wrong.
If the person is in the wrong.
Or hell no if they're not.
Oh, hell no if they're not. Okay.
Gotcha. All right, so, and I'll explain it after I read all this, but... Okay. And I am going to summarize a couple of things. So, my significant other made me a birthday cake the other day for my birthday. They asked me what I wanted, and the cake I told them is I wanted just a plain chocolate cake because it's my favorite. My significant other said fine, and they decided to make me a cake, but it wasn't the exact cake that I wanted. It was a chocolate cake, but with vanilla icing, like on the inside, right? So they go on to say that, they didn't make a scene about it. They didn't pout. They ate some of the cake or whatever, but their significant other got upset because they kind of noticed, that they weren't really happy about it. So they asked, what was wrong? And they was like, oh, it's fine. It's just not the cake that I wanted. So the person's feelings got hurt. The person who made the cake, their feelings got hurt. And, they were like, well, you ate the cake. You don't have a problem with it. What's the problem? And their response was, well, it's not the exact cake that I wanted, and it is for my birthday. So they're going to say, I think birthdays are important, and I feel like I was being honest with them when they asked. I didn't want to lie about it. My friend told me I should have been grateful that they made me a cake in the first place, especially since I ate a little bit of it and liked it in the past. Maybe I overreacted a bit. I don't know.
I'm trying so hard not to be annoyed from the moment.
But at this point, the significant other decided to break up because of that disagreement over the cake. So,
okay.
Do you feel like that's a you damn right that led to a breakup, or you feel like that's kind of foul?
You damn right that led to a breakup.
Mm-hmm.
For first of all, many reasons. This person could have just bought you a chocolate cake, and it could have been a last minute. Oh, let me just go get a chocolate cake. They went out their way to bake it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that mean they have to go to the store, get eggs, milk, flour. I mean, I don't know all the shit they go in there, but they had to do that too. There was chocolate in your cake. I'm assuming this person's not a baker, right? So if you tell me chocolate cake, I don't know that you want chocolate icing or filling or whatever else. The base of the cake was chocolate.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they completely was being an asshole and made like a vanilla, banana, strawberry cream cake and you ain't had no chocolate, so that there. 3, that was dramatic. Mm-hmm. That was dramatic. Like, it's okay. Even if they didn't make you the cake they wanted, I would just be happy with it. You're not allergic to nothing else. It wasn't like they tried to kill you. They were literally being selfless.
Because they went out the way to
They went out the way to not only that and then ask you. And like I said, it wasn't like the person completely just didn't have no chocolate in the cake. Right. The cake had chocolate in it. So that was weird. That was very weird to me. That was like somebody who I definitely don't see how I could be with, because if you trip over something like this, then that means you might ask me for a Ferrari for, your birthday, and I just get you a BMW, and that's not good enough. Mm-hmm. I got a problem with that. Because I'm going out my way to do something, and you're not grateful about it. So if you're going to trip over a cake, baby, you'll trip over anything.
Gotcha.
You're damn right. Bye.
Gotcha.
Bye. On your birthday.
Well, I did take a poll, and it looks like a lot of people felt as though the person was overreacting. That
the one who left and broke up,
because they felt as though the person asked for a specific cake for their birthday, so the cake should have been that specific.
No,
what they wanted.
Weirdos. Oh, weirdos. Weirdos. No, and I'm pretty sure this is not the first time something selfish like that. That's so in the most respectful way. That was so like Kim Kardashian attitude to me. Like, I didn't get what I want. I lost my earring in the ocean. Yeah, there's people dying.
I feel like I'll be appreciative if I got a cake in the first place, because now if I told you I wanted a chocolate cake and you gave me a strawberry cake, I'm gonna be like,
right. And that's why I feel like, okay, then you could say something like, well, babe, I did ask for,
yeah,
I don't eat strawberry. I didn't want you to waste your money. Reverse it back to like, I don't want to be selfish and waste your money and stuff, but I really only like chocolate or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure if they baked it, you was in the house. So you seen that vanilla frosting morning. Mm-hmm.
And maybe they was just trying to be fancy. Maybe just be like, let me jazz it up.
They
maybe,
don't know what to do.
You know what I'm saying? Or
Martha Stewart, they just trying to put something together for you. Oh no, weirdos. Y'all all weirdos. Because I would have left. We would have broke up.
I have to say that in that scenario, it possibly could be some type of a little bit of vampiring going on, as far as like sucking the energy out of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because if I go and make a cake for you, and I'm like, I'm about to make this a chocolate cake, but I'm gonna jazz that bitch, and then you just, you know what I'm saying? Now, granted, the person did ask, how they were feeling about the cake, because they weren't gonna say anything.
Great, love it. Just like when your man, this was amazing.
Yeah.
This is the best head I ever got. Love you. This is great. Like, no, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I feel you.
No.
I feel you.
No.
I feel you.
No, you damn right.
Well, again, my birthday's coming up in November, so if anybody wants to make me a cake of any kind, I'll
want a chocolate cake?
completely appreciative of any cake, because I just love cake. But
like, no, we're not doing that. We're not gonna act like that. We're just not. No, people out here can't even get a man. And you talking about cake? Send that to me. Who paid you? I don't like that. And I want to know who took the poll too.
With that being said, y'all, that's all the time we got today for the You Damn Right podcast. Candace, it's been a pleasure having you here again.
Of course.
Y'all know y'all will see her again and again and again. But I definitely appreciate you again.
I appreciate you, my love.
I appreciate this conversation. And I hope you guys really enjoyed today's episode. I'm glad that y'all tuned in with us. Give this a like, give this a share, give this a subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah. And this is a reminder, again, to be brave, be kind, be safe out there. Start moving with intention. Give that a try. Make that a challenge for yourself for the rest of the year, to do something right now that your future self is going to be so happy that you chose to take the time to do, so that when you look back at it 6 months, a year, 5 years from now, you can be like, I'm so glad I did that when I had the chance, when I had the opportunity, when I had the time. That's my message for today.
Yay.
So
great message. Pass it on.
Pastor Ron is crazy. Wow. Yeah, let's go ahead and get up out of here. Yeah. That's a wrap for today's episode, y'all. Peace.
That was good. That was great. I want a milkshake.